What if I'm more Christ-like than any of you because
Ooh.
I reject the money changers that you guys think are good people?
Ooh, fabulous.
Because you are the money changer.
You are the greatest grifter.
That's
Fuck
no
you talking
defense, bro.
about?
You're that guy. You don't get
You play the role.
I'm flipping over those money changers tables and taking their bag.
but you don't have the oxtail to whip them with, and that's not going to work. In this case, you're just a strong arm pulling over the freaking locals.
The
Man.
new mafia.
USB cord over there.
You got to have that oxtail and kick them out and let them keep their money too. That's the impressive part.
No, they can't keep their money.
See, that's exactly my point. That big seeks you.
Jack, if he had more God in him, what changes would he make? Please, besides trust, that's probably the obvious.
Holy cows! You can't make this story up. The story that we're living. What's so obvious to me? I tried to communicate it with Illumitami earlier. Even if the ideas of success, even if they are so limited, what I've been doing for all of this time is talking about trying to end wars, trying to end this wage slavery money system.
Someone buy me a reverse.
Okay, so that's what I was just going to offer, right? This might be a perfect opportunity.
I'm trying to change money here. Somebody buy me a reverse so I can shoot shots at Jack.
Yes, I think it would be fair, and that's a good incentive. It won't let me do it. What?
There's lots of ways to get her done.
That's another perfect example. There's always a way. There's always another way. There's always a solution. It comes down to, do we want it or do we want an excuse?
You ain't sold him on nothing. What yet? I think we were selling him a God right now. You were saying the advantages of God being in his.
I'm actually not sold on any of my criticisms. I mean, okay, I'm sold on the trust thing. I'm not sold that that's a flaw.
Right.
I mean, didn't you have a homeless guy like live in your house for a while and that turned out poorly?
Yeah.
Let me pitch one for you, brother.
Hold on. Go ahead.
This extra 10%, 2%, 20% of people that you distrust that you could trust are people you could exploit more efficiently.
Damn. Turn them into an asset. He said.
There's what you might be missing. Holy shit. And in the bigger picture, I do believe this is true. That's why we find enemies. Enemies are a distortion of love, but they carry us lessons. They bring us lessons that we could never learn without them. And the enemy might be someone you love who betrays you.
Yeah.
I found those.
Yes. So that takes us to forgiving. That's where that conversation goes. Do you think Flo needs to be more forgiving?
That is a great question, Joe.
The answer is yes. I finally found a flaw in that nigga.
I think I'm very forgiving.
Are you though?
Yeah.
All right, no,
No, Jack, hear me out. He'll forgive anyone for around $50.
Okay.
Unless you're Imperious or EB3.
Then there's a price. It's just negotiable.
Are you finding value
In
and
what?
self-worth outside
Of what?
outside of you?
In what? In money?
In money and other people.
I
In
don't think
opinions. You don't know, you're not big by opinions, but you are
He
big
finds
by
value watching us, right? He gets to do his psychology thing, watching us be knuckleheads.
well, you could be doing more with that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Jack wants me to do more with my psychology knowledge. What he doesn't realize is I'm doing lots with it.
I don't know. I think, okay, Jack, you're saying he needs to be more professional. You want to see that motherfucker, maybe with a 9 to 5 where, he's among his psychology peers. Well, all right, I'm wrong.
not wrong. But I
What
want
do
him
you
to
want him to
use.
do with those skills? Then what do you see him doing? I thought you wanted him to be I don't know, whatever psychologists do.
I want him to think bigger.
Be
Start
specific.
thinking.
Don't make me
Start
flow over
thinking
that next
more.
to you. He can smack you if I ask him to. Don't think bigger. Be specific.
Well, generically, more specific is thinking more about what value, what are others receiving from me, right? Because
He's
the
use
greater.
his gifts to what? Be specific, please.
To run a YouTube channel.
Let me connect the dots.
Okay.
I think the signs of the times, the day we live in, the world is literally fucking nuts. Okay? People are insane. They're crying out, seeking true answers, but the answers are given to them and they push them away.
Okay, let me ask. Are you saying that Flo on his panels should give better advice, or should he be using his gifts outside of YouTube as well? Are you saying one of those two things?
Here's my idea.
Don't dodge. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I truly believe in the laws of exchange, right? We put out good into the universe, and it may not be a direct result, but the rewards do happen.
I believe that too.
Following just logic, it makes sense. You treat others good, good things are going to happen to you. Other people will want to treat you good.
Somehow this is going to go back to Flo's psychology being used in a better way.
Thank you, Joe. See, this is why this was so perfect.
What?
It was just inviting these other minds here because just what you said, Joe Cool, he keeps us on track.
No, Jack, I wasn't invited. I just have the keys.
You know, keep it focused.
Uncle Fatty sent in a Kofi. He says, money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is. And he sent in enough to bomb Talcott.
Oh yeah, all men and women have the right.
Oh my God, is that it?
You finding full pictures of them, like that full picture of Paul in the beginning and half a picture of Steve, that made the difference. Him waddling around, I'm gonna say it, those 2 or 3 steps before Paul got blew up, that just it made it different from Jack's getting blown up and Stevens. But Jack, you were saying something, and I probably can't remember because I'm smoking right now as we talk. But you were saying that he should use his psychology abilities, and I was asking you to be specific. My question was, do you mean he could do a better job using it on YouTube, or do you mean that he needs to do it on YouTube as well as in real life more?
Potentially both. I think there's a lot of opportunity. Conservation of energy, conservation of our time. You know, we want to be wise with how we're spending our time. And I think you find a way to bring more value. You find a way to actually interact with people, which you do well, right? You're very good at getting people's attention and their trust and respect. That's something I've struggled with.
It's gonna go to Jack. I'm being patient, but it's gonna go there.
Somebody needs to buy a reverse so that.
Let me land it real quick. So the point is, I could envision you having a great level of success through donations, views, the monetary system, the system that's there. I could see you having great success, less time, less effort, just more efficiently pointed. And then,
Okay.
you know,
You
I'd
understood
like
that?
Yeah, I did. You know what? I don't know if I aligned it with a different conversation I had earlier today with somebody else.
All right.
So I think I understood it, but I maybe didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Your level of awareness is pretty.
You're telling me that I could be more efficient at
Yes.
this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so to land it, I want you to consider, when I'm not doing this, what else could I be doing? And I want you to think about fucking connecting with nature, connecting with the family, doing things that bring you life and joy and
I like
really
it, Jack.
help you.
How do you know he ain't doing that shit? First of all, I like it. That is great advice. But you'd be assuming a bit of his off time, like you know what he does with his off time, man, what you're saying.
I fucking love you, Joe. Call me out. Why are you making that assumption? Well, one of our earlier conversations, I think you identified yourself as gaining the YouTube type body here, buddy.
Good observation, Sherlock. Very good.
So, is this one of those things, Sasquatch, where I should yell at Mr. Pie, or one of those things where I should like not jump to conclusion? Because I don't know how in the fuck somebody doesn't figure out how to donate when I drop.
I tell you to go with your gut.
All right, my gut says Mr. Pie. I'm dropping the link in the chat. This is for Mr. Pie only. Everybody else will be removed, not let up. And Mr. Pie, I hope that you have something good to say up here. Because if you come up here and you make that squealing noise, I'm going to flip the fuck out on you.
We're brought together to trigger each other. I'm confident of that. Okay.
Oh, we agree on this.
Mr.
Jack, you are absolutely right. My whole purpose here is to trigger people who are easily triggered.
In some capacity, I like people to reveal themselves, especially if they're confident and think they're the shit. I'll intentionally trip you up. But generally speaking, I hop around to learn something new, to use you niggas to help me figure out problems I'm trying to figure out in my head myself. Try and Bogart the panel and ask you, what do you think about man's inhumanity to man? So I could use people.
Yeah, I think I do a similar thing. I try to triangulate my perspective off people.
Yeah.
Not as much as Joe does, but I do do that.
I'll be like, I'm short
Joe's
on
like
time. I gotta hurry up. I'm short on time. I gotta take over and ask you about this and that.
Here's something I had to face. Maybe I did that. Maybe I did. I know I did in the past. I relied on opinions. People's opinions, they moved my emotions, and I allowed opinions to control me.
Okay.
I spent so much time on my own, though. I had to learn how to trust my own opinion without confirmation from others. There's a lot of...
Your opinion sucks, Jack. Here, I'll say why. At least I think this is your opinion. In just this one fashion. First of all, you haven't shown any sign of your opinion sucking tonight. You've been on point. So I can't say it just all across the board. But your opinion also leads you to, when someone tries to give you advice, in your opinion, you're attacking me. Your opinion leads you there. So I would say lean away from that part of your I almost said understanding from the Bible, from that part of your opinion. Not many, certainly not us. If we're doing it, we may troll you a little bit, but if Flo or somebody, I'm doing it, it's probably to grow you. And there's something in there. Even if we're giving you shit, we're probably still trying to grow you. Your opinion, I don't know. You seem to think many people are attacking you when you're not. And that was a bad time to criticize you, man. I picked a bad time to criticize you right there.
No, it's perfect, because we'll take the spotlight off him for.
I mean, people were supposed to pay the reverse.
I
also didn't think that I'd be so free of problems.
Oh, you're not
right. That this would take days.
You're clinging to denial.
Okay, trust is one. I'm still not convinced that's a problem. Okay, but I mean, maybe
money
it's okay.
was the first one. You need to work hard at money. Don't forget that.
That was.
I mean, I think he needs to work more at money.
Right. Most people do. I think that this is what the blind spot I see is common. I think we need to work together to overcome the reliance of money.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been brought here this afternoon to join these two men on the matrimony that has been set upon them. Listen, we're going to invent a brand new religion and have a brand new union. It's going to involve 8 arms and a bottle of Thunderbird wine.
I'm down. I don't even drink, but that sounds fucking fun.
Hey, are we having problems with the mic? Oh, we might be coming when the signal drops. We may be having problems with the mic.
I had some of those. My signal
Okay.
is fucked up. It's been dropping for a while.
Well, it was mentioned previously, but the budget hotel has budget Wi-Fi.
I am
particularly
surprised. Who brought the
like me.
equipment? That was Flo who brought the equipment and the mic. That was Flo. You was
This is his budget internet.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Who
my
brought the mic and who idea was we gonna go live from the hotel?
This is my camera and laptop. His mic. He's got his whole setup here. And I didn't bring my mic and mixer.
I forgot Jack has a setup. I'm stupid. I forgot. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we took it off, and where were we?
Yeah.
Criticism of me, perhaps, but.
Yeah, I was saying I picked a bad time to choose, but I didn't want you to lean with your own understanding when you think people are attacking you. I think that comes from you as opposed to other people influencing you to believe that. And that leads, that would lead to our ability, when I'm guilty of it, our ability to grow and all of that shit. In fact, I taught that shit. I don't trust motherfuckers, but I'll tell you, I don't know. I trust some people more. If some people give me criticisms more, it rings harder, right? Some motherfuckers, and I think I could call that trust.
Right. It does. There's a weight to the words based on who's delivering it. The relationship. That's what it is. The relationship carries more weight.
And what does mine hit?
Absolutely. If you said some shit, I'd have to think about it. But I got a bunch of motherfuckers like that. I'm very blessed and very lucky.
You seek out people like that.
Yes, I think it's an attribute. Yes, I love.
Hey, and that brings us actually back to what I wanted to point out, Joe. What you were talking about, the way you'll kind of confront, and you'll press and inquire.
Yeah.
I think that's naturally within you. It's part of your path, and I think that's to a degree, it's a natural part of all of us. That rebellious spirit,
what?
Right? The rebellious tendency. That's what's common with us.
Wait.
Is Mr. Pie still in your chat? Sorry. Just drop the link in your chat for a second.
All right. Yes.
No, I mean, Mr. Pie's been bitching and moaning down there and saying he wants to donate, but being like, see, this is what I'm saying. Curiosity drives me more than anything. I'm just curious what he could possibly be flipping out about.
Zach, you just said something about asking questions. Oh, you were talking about the way I ask questions. And then you said it was part of that rebellious spirit. I was trying to say, are they one and the same? I know that asking questions shit can be irritating as fuck, but does it mean you're rebellious?
Potentially. It's natural for our curiosity, but there's a time and a place. And if we don't have clear mind and clear purpose, we cause confusion. And you called me out accurately on I have still shown triggers, right? Getting angry.
Yeah.
That means I'm being moved by the words of someone else.
Oh, that's how I would look at it, baby. Yeah.
That's what it is.
And I'm angry about that. If I let you influence me, I kick myself. I look for the next opportunity. I can't believe I fell for that shit.
I do the same thing, Joe. I get so pissed off at myself when I get pissed off at others.
But then I look for the very next opportunity to not let it happen again. You don't catch me slipping twice on the same shit. You fall for the slain banana peel every fucking day.
Yeah.
Maybe not now. I'm not now. I haven't been watching. I'm going back to when Paul would trick you with the same shit every day. I'm going back to that time.
That's not what was happening. And yes, it's the non-sexual orgasm guy.
I've had non-sexual orgasms within my body, pleasures that I didn't know were possible.
And
It's
Jack,
true.
can I throw that out there that all of this is judged you on months ago. So keep that in mind because I've been
I
busy.
am.
You've been busy.
And
I
Joe, I don't think
understand.
that you were right about that. I don't think Jack was falling for shit. I think it was an intentional fall, right? In reality, I don't know.
I
I'm not.
get. I understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure to what end, but for whatever reason, Jack would keep reconnecting there because there's something he was getting or
All
trying to
right,
get.
Jack. Let me make sure that okay, you're nodding, so I know you understand what Flo is saying. At least I think you have the same understanding that I do. I said that you slip up and fall for the same trick. Here's saying that you're not so silly that you're just falling for the same trick. There's something for you to be gained. You're getting some out of it, and you're going willingly. I'll dig it.
Yeah.
Okay.
In some degree, I was pressing into what was uncomfortable. Kind of what you were saying,
That's a
Joe.
good thing. Sometimes I don't have a problem with pressing it to the uncomfortable. But go ahead.
Well, I've been repeatedly failing to communicate. This is what I've been studying, communication. How do you communicate with people who don't want to hear what you want to say?
No. Who disagree with you? That's your issue. It's not that people don't want to hear it. People put it in their head and throw it around in their head. And when they throw it back as something different, it's not that they don't want to communicate. They just disagree, at least in some cases.
Jack and Paul were never really properly talking to each other.
No.
Of course.
Jack was talking to his son, and Paul was talking to his dad.
He's right. Flo's 100% right. You can't
And you
split
can
time.
use my psychology knowledge.
No.
Yes, you say.
You do. This is what I mean. And this is what is happening here.
She's adorable. There.
Hey, this is what's happening here is in good nature with good intentions, people calling each other out on bullshit.
That's what men do, in my opinion.
Well,
that's what friends do. I don't let niggas double talk me and say shit. You know what I mean? It was like this and that. No, we're men. Be specific. If you stand behind your ideals, be specific. Get them across. Let them be judged, tossed around, and thrown back to you. That's how men grow. You don't grow up, you're not pushed, in my opinion. I'm too old to sit around a bunch of agreeable fucks.
All right, but here's the downside, right?
Jack, you're disagreeable shit. That's a good sign for you.
We can get comfortable with habit of everything. People have become comfortable being disagreeable, just fucking disagreeing just to disagree.
I saw you saying
right
that earlier. I caught that, and you're right. And a lot of people.
You're right too, Joe.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That makes three of us.
You're both right.
And Sasquatch too.
Right.
Sasquatch is right. Yeah.
That is right.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to call this one out. I have it on good authority from literally everyone in my comment section that there's no way I could possibly be right.
I mean, they must be right. I don't know.
That must be right.
But you're also right.
Fuck. Give it up for the chat over there in Sasquatch. Right?
When I was in jail and I wanted to be custodian, and I wrote the jail administrator like letter day after. Every day I write him a fucking letter to say, can I be a trustee, and which for those who don't know, in jail trustees get to go help cook, prep meals and shit. And you get like an extra hall pass from yourself.
Right.
And finally the jail administrator came back and he said, they called me by my last name. He goes, "You're never going to be a trustee in my jail." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because you're too disagreeable." And I said, "I agree." I still think that was the cleverest response that he probably missed entirely.
Absolutely.
Right. Life
easy.
Life is not easy, you said. It is not. We need to stop acting like people are supposed to have it right by now. In my opinion, life is not easy, man.
But it can be. And here's the way that it can be easy. Let others be right. Let yourself be right.
Eh.
I'm going to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. In that situation, assuming that someone is blatantly wrong, do I not want to, just for the sake of getting along, do I not want to say you sound insane that Biden is going to cure the world? I'm supposed to tell him that you sound crazy.
This is where I think humanity, all of us, this online experience has been an incredible one for me. And there's documents and, evidence, that's the word. There's evidence of this crazy adventure. I mean,
yes. I get it.
You guys are amazing.
Same with you. You're a god, fucking Talcott. You got niggas calling you by your name, Talcott. You have a name, right? You are somebody. Shit.
What were you gonna say, Sasquatch, man?
Oh, I'm just making a reference to a Robert Heinlein novel where homie gets crucified by bullets, but thou art God.
You got the reference? I didn't get the reference.
Oh. We are far more than what we've been led to believe. And what I learned from myself, and I hope he's listening, that distrust, we get comfortable with distrust, and then we make excuses. And go ahead, Joe.
Excuses not to trust people.
That's what I had been doing.
Yeah.
I was using the gift of my logical mind to find all these reasons to be resentful, to be bitter, to be worried, to be angry. Yeah. I never spent my time using my mind to help me figure out how to be happy.
That's when you come into the God shit, though. That would be my advice to people. And I hate to do that because everybody, it shuts their mind when you say anything about God and stuff. So you got to be all crafty and shit. But you're like me, and what works for me, and I hope it works for you. If it doesn't, it will. You put God drive the ship. I say yes to everything. Every time motherfucker asks, want to do this, want to do that, want to do this, I try to do every fucking thing. And God seems to control the ship. My life is much better. But it ain't me. It's God presenting me with shit and me taking advantage of it. And I'm so much happier, like stupid. When I had the control of the ship, I was out here selling drugs and shit. I put it in God's hand. And, I'm out. I met you, Catch, you wonderful Catch.
You were doing it yourself? Sorry, our internet lagged, so I don't want to.
It's probably mine. I don't know. My shit's shitty, but I don't matter. My shit's all shitty.
Can I ask a question about that? Some housekeeping real quick. Or are we too deep into a subject? Okay.
No.
The setup that we're working with here, I see you backstage on a device, right?
Who is you? Me or Jack?
Jack.
Okay.
Right. All right. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you drop that out of StreamYard, wouldn't that reduce the bandwidth that'd be necessary from that room?
Yes.
Okay. That might stop at least some of the frame rate drop.
Good call, brother. Thank you. Right. We're on different connections, different devices, but it's still, same source. Thank you. Good call. See, there's a lot of this technical stuff that I'm figuring out. I'm clumsy and I'm slow, but I'm learning. I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
And Joe, coming back to what you were talking, man, this giving it up to God. Yeah. Holy cows. I've been learning that. And this idea just came to me, brother. It's been a while. When we talked long ago, you have standards before you're willing to make introductions. That was something you're very clear about, and I respect that. I want you to give me a chance, see if I've made the standards yet. Time for introductions.
Very good, because I don't remember telling you that, but that is something I do.
Yeah.
So I'd have to know the instance when I said and who I said I wouldn't have introduced you to, because I've sold so many people that.
Well, there weren't specifics addressed, but
Right.
the generic thing was what you brought up earlier. You know, you're gonna look for the weakness in another, and you're gonna test them. And you weren't gonna make introductions with someone who's gonna get all emotional and moved by words. And I got
Yeah. But I bet you, Jack, I meant something. If I didn't say it out loud, I meant something in particular, because there are many places that you would be met introductions. I must have had something in my mind particular. Well, I wouldn't put you in that room or with those people, because I know. I'm sure I've at least mentioned you or put a clip, of you on my channel, I think, and I would have put your name and your channel on there, right?
no.
Some people, if I don't want, if I think, the people, would not benefit, I don't put their name on there, even if they're in the vid. Other people are put on there. So I saw you fit for that. As I had a couple of people like recently, I put a guy on there and he's like really racist. His channel is 24/7. He's a white dude and he talks about how shitty black people are. But I talk to everybody, and got a clip out of that shit. And I did not put his channel on there. But
No, I respect you, man. And I don't know what specifically might have been in mind or what was even going on, what I'm even remembering.
Right. It might have been in a certain room, like certain rooms. I have certain like if you go in any room where Guru is, in order for that room to work, and I love Guru's conversation, certain rules must apply, or with other people too. Feelings are just not allowed. Now, even with the women, you are not allowed to give me your emotional shit, just the logic behind it. Go ahead. Maybe I was giving them shit about an instance like that.
No worries.
Hey, did you hear that steel door? I told you they was in the trap, yo. Did you hear that steel door close?
I'm gonna need an alignment after driving down this road.
It's
but you know what? If you get on Priceline and you find the cheapest hotel in all of the Kansas City metro area,
you talking to a pro, bro, for real. I found the greatest lot lizard hotels around, man. 3 o'clock in the morning, they be outside your door. I be finding cheap shit in the hood.
This is an industrial area, so really it's catering to
murderers.
Instead of in their trucks. It's not like this place doesn't rent by. Does it rent by the hour? It probably doesn't.
Yeah, that's caters to murderers out there. If you run to somebody, they gonna get rid of you.
I was staying in a hotel room in Savannah. We had a very nice stay. It was excellent for the first 2 days. On the third night, it was Saturday night. The first time a random person knocked on the door, they literally tried to sell us crack. They just knocked on the door, and when my wife opened it, he was like, "Hey, do y'all want to buy some crack?" And we were like, "No." He's like, goes down to the next door. 45 minutes, maybe an hour later, somebody's banging on the door like the police. My wife gets up to answer it, and I said, "Hold on a second." Peeked out the window, and there was this redheaded tattooed lady standing out there going, "The cops are after me. You gotta let me in." And I'm like,
that's hilarious.
Oh, ma'am.
I'd have let her in.
I had 2 children in the room with me, so I was like,
I would have been tempted to let her in.
Yeah, me too.
If it had just been me or just me and my wife, we might have let her in just to see what the hell was going on, because we were bored as hell.
You should have bought some crack.
Yeah, we totally could have bought some crack and had a hooker, apparently.
Right. God sent you a solution and you turned it down.
You blew God's gift. So look, somebody, this is how fucked up my neighborhood is. A friend that we know, and it's a female, drops it. I immediately say, "Hey, Nippy, you dropped this," and handed it to her. Soon as she walk away, all the guys on the corner, oh, you fucked up, Joe. That was your blessing right there, Joe. You fucked up. They were mad at me for giving her money, bro.
It's what we've been raised with. People are raised to be selfish. And the selfishness creates selfishness and distrust. Those two things go together.
So what I was saying earlier, tell us the story about the guy that you had to live with you. Tell us that story about trust.
This is my life, man. You cannot fucking make this story up. Lucifer. I invited Lucifer to stay with me. It was this couple. They were both drug addicts. Lucky and Jennifer. Lucky and Jennifer together.
You mean to tell me that this didn't work out for the best?
Yes.
No.
Fuck it.
When this man tells me I need to trust more, my instinct is to say no, I don't.
Right.
Confirms what Sasquatch was pointing out. You've come to a conclusion based on past events, and so you listen through this filter of distrust. Okay, so it's a protection mechanism that's holding you back.
Well, it's a prediction model. It's a prediction model.
From letting crack addicts move in. That's what it's gotten them to. But go ahead.
Does that change the lessons?
A bit.
You're potentially.
Wait,
Jack, I don't want to dismiss because you're right. Okay. When you're right, you're right.
Yes. That was the whole idea, is to learn that you let a motherfucker in your crib who you have some trust for, and not a thief, because I assume most motherfuckers who out there that bad, that's part of the hustle. A lot of selling shit and stealing shit. I've learned through being around, let motherfuckers stay at my house and stealing shit. And now,
dude, you just reminded me some sick, low down, dirty, scum sucking, no name, no nut motivator stole my plunger. I was so mad. Why would you steal a plunger? Who steals a freaking
petty?
Sorry.
No, that's petty, Joe. That's like some movie dudes say she took the ice trays. Still, the nigga plungers fucks up, bro.
Hey, here, I'll jump back to the story with the drug addicts and the homeless.
Okay, wait, let me ask you a question.
My credibility.
You knew they were drug addicts and you still let them stay. Okay.
Yeah, I was warned of their behavior and their tendencies, and I still allowed them to stay. And
because you're special.
I offered to hire.
Yes, it will work this time.
Right. That is what I was trusting and believing, is that I could communicate that these guys might actually become like a real benefit in my life to helping me.
It was ego.
I offered to hire them. No, this is logic, dude. Not ego. This is logic.
Doesn't sound logical so far, but go ahead.
I actually met these people through the cleaning woman I hired. It was her daughter, and
where did you find the cleaning woman?
Online with one of those apps.
Was she advertising actually as a cleaning woman?
Yeah. No, she was she was a damn good hard worker, but she did the job hard. She made her job more hard than she had to. And I watched her do it. I should have saw the signs. Here, let me jump to the point.
Yeah, you met her and she told you about these people. In what capacity were you interested in them? Had you met them in a friendship capacity first, or was the initial meeting for hire?
The kid, if I remember right, they showed up as mom was there cleaning the kitchen.
Okay.
And
your mom or their mom?
Their mom. Okay. Their mom was cleaning the kitchen. And so I was talking with them, the daughter, I believe. And they mentioned they were going through tough times and they were living in their vehicle and they didn't know where they were going to park.
Why did they come over?
Something to do with mom.
Mom texted him. She's like, "Hey,
Could have been no, because mom was warning me. Mom was warning me, don't trust him, don't do this, don't do that. And I thought I was better than the advice I was getting. And I did. I saw red flags. I saw signs, but I didn't take them seriously.
Yeah.
And I put myself in danger. It resulted in me getting assaulted and pepper
I was just
sprayed
hoping for
in my
something got
house.
stolen. I didn't dare dream that it could be a
Oh, that-
pepper spray and
that happened
the
too.
story.
That
who
happened
sprayed
too.
you? Police or them? Why did he pepper spray you?
He got angry at me because allegedly his reason was because I called his wife a bitch.
He said allegedly.
Did you call her bitch?
Yes, I called her a bitch. She was a bitch. And she was a fat slob. I was polite in calling her a bitch.
Oh, this is great.
I'm telling you, you can't imagine. You cannot write this fucking story I'm
Yes,
living.
you could. If you told, if you had said, "Hey, I let 2 homeless people stay at my house," even after the cleaning lady said no, I could write that.
I at least had the stereo leaping out the house and some precious items.
No,
at least that happened.
It was just all my kids' RC cars and
Whoa. Yeah, let's get more here. Now I got questions. When you guys actually fell out, it was for them nicking shit from around the crib?
No.
That was my assumption. I'm an idiot. What was it?
They weren't communicating with me.
Whoa! So you bothersome nigga? What that mean?
Well, they moved into my house, and I was being very gracious, very generous, very kind, and I felt I was receiving no respect.
No. You said communicating now. If you said respect,
They were avoiding having conversations with me because
they didn't know they covered contracted for friendship, did they?
They did not know that. But I was honest about offering my friendship.
No, this is horrible. Oh fuck.
Holy shit. See, you call things out very well. You are gifted and you do use what you've learned. But there's many people. You work on you first. And then you'll see all the others, man. Holy cows.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. I'm spoiled. I want to see video now. I'm so spoiled. Now I want to see, video of nigga getting pepper sprayed. Fuck you, you fat bitch. Psh.
Of what? Of him getting pepper sprayed? We all want to see that.
I want to see the hotel above.
I would love to see that. Actually, no offense, but like that would be really funny.
I got photos.
I've been pepper sprayed. Did they get you directly in the eye?
Fuck
that's great.
See, I've never been hit right in the eye.
Yeah, you can't show Jack. I don't know if you're this silly or not, but you couldn't show that. Even if you wanted to show us, you couldn't just put the shit on the internet. You're not, you seem to be just totally oblivious to what motherfuckers can do when you give them a little shit. It's like that clip with Direct D talking about sticking shit up his ass. You see how many people are playing that clip now because he left that hanging out.
Oh, are they? Is that clip going around?
Oh man, I see it everywhere. Not yours. Everyone has their version. Not yours. Everyone has a version of him saying that shit though. I mean, it blew up. It blew up before I ever even saw it over here. I'd seen it 6 times.
Here, we kind of got diverted though regarding judging.
Yeah, I think the story,
the credibility.
I think, go ahead.
Well,
if not, continue. But
I can assure you, I learned many lessons from those mistakes.
Not to just trust niggas, to be more like Flo.
No, to be wise, but to still be trusting.
Does that mean less trusting?
I gained more trust in myself as I looked at the lessons.
And more in yourself, less in other people.
No. Well, the two go together. The two go together.
I know they do.
Your distrust of others is because of a distrust in you.
No.
Yes.
No, it was the exact opposite. You learn to trust yourself and your judgment more, and it's not so distrusting. No, now when I don't let one of my best friends, he is thief and steal from every motherfucker. I was running to the store one day at the end of the block, and I made him wait outside and locked him outside my house. He thought I was being really mean by doing that shit. I'm like, nigga, you steal from everybody else. I'm not special, and I that's what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Fuck that. That's I don't know. That doesn't make me a distrusting. You did wrong. You should have left him in the house, Joe, or else you don't trust people. Fuck that. That don't make no sense.
Joe, if you grow faith in God, what is the reason of distrust?
So you don't get robbed.
Or pepper sprayed.
A pepper spray.
God gave you a brain, right?
You think you can prevent?
Yes.
I prevented it that day by not letting him in my house while I was not present.
All right.
That's just logical. I'm not saying no heavy shit, right?
What is the other side though is what is being denied when we exercise distrust? What is being missed? I start to wonder, what am I missing by pushing people away?
I'm trying to think. Wait. See, that's not you're pushing shit into there. I told you he was one of my best friends. I didn't push him away. I didn't trust him that he wouldn't steal from my house that I shared with my family. So, but we were best friends. I ran the street with him every day. You know how I know? Because I did crime with that nigga every day. I know he was a thief.
It does. Look, if you
Joe, you're saying you are saying the most true thing on earth. You are not saying you trust a man. You are saying you trust a man to be himself.
Yes, I like it. Yeah.
All right.
I trust that. I got all that trust.
People can. I'm not saying you specifically, because you do have a level of awareness to you that I've been noticing. It's different. It stands out than others.
Can I cut you off?
Please.
Flo, I know you didn't. You probably, I don't know. If you saw a debate over Sarah's today, it was about should women be in the modern society or some bullshit, modern women roles or something. But you would have absolutely crushed them. Their arguments were just fucking. It was like 3-4. Oh man, I was just missing you, man. You should have been over there, hopped over there and crushed them motherfuckers, man. And
who was crushing?
I wish nobody. I was like, you would crush these motherfuckers before breakfast, before, this is, oh my God. The arguments are so fucking horrible. They're talking about women in the military, and it was felt like basic shit to me. And, I wish you was over there. I guess I didn't mean to interrupt and say that.
Yeah. I did not. I only caught a little bit of it, but I had to.
Yeah. It was like,
I woke up at the crack of 3:30 this afternoon. I had to, just right at the time when I had other things going.
Yeah, let me rephrase what I said. Now I think I know how to say it better. Okay. I think at that moment I felt like I'd been taking you for granted and your skills and shit like that. I think I was coming to a realization. Oh man, I've been taking dude for granted. He's got skills or something. It was more along those lines.
That's a symptom I've seen in you too, brother. Your distrust. It causes you to underestimate people.
Talk to me.
You underestimated me.
Keep going. Keep going. That was funny as fuck.
I would be lying if I said I hadn't seen it coming. The second that question came up,
I walked right into that one.
I'm
telling you. Go ahead, though. Go ahead. You meant something specific. Go ahead.
Well,
I missed out on something because I didn't trust you. Go ahead. Or something along those lines is where I think you're going.
Yeah, it is.
I'm listening.
Well, I've been learning these observations on distrust and how people push people away through my own direct experience. People have found a lot of reasons to distrust me.
I understand.
And it's because they underestimated.
I'd leave you in my house, Jack, but I wouldn't let you direct the group of 7 men with the battle plan. One way I trust you, but I don't totally distrust you, motherfucker.
You haven't seen my wins in battle. I have.
But I know they exist, so you could not be arrogant without a host of fucking victories at some point in the past.
No, yes, you can. You still can, but I don't think he is in that way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. What I just recognized, though, something for you to pay attention to. You're right 98% of the time. So what? Okay. When we're wrong, we're wrong. Mm-hmm. And if we don't allow ourselves the possibility of being wrong, we establish these habits.
I'm actually okay with being wrong. Like, I don't, it doesn't bother me. It's breakage, right?
Yeah. It's growing up.
I'm actually really forgiving of myself.
Being wrong.
Trust.
Being wrong is the second step to learning. The first step is to actually be aware of the subject in the first place. The second step is to jump to a conclusion that is incorrect and then be corrected by facts and evidence.
That's beautiful.
That actually is kind of how I operate. Like, and that's a learning process, right? Just choosing a thing, and then if I'm wrong, I'll learn it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, I'm gonna put Jack in the spotlight again, and it's to target as well. I get this. Regarding the underestimating, and the missed opportunities, the use of time. Literally, I don't know how to make it happen. I don't know how it will succeed, but I feel in my heart we have a chance to end wars. And
I don't think anyone would disagree with that. There's a chance to do it. We'd agree. I don't think that Jack is the guy, though, who's going to pull it off by whispering in some evil fuck's ear. I just don't have no confidence.
He misunderstood you and underestimated you.
Yes, obviously. I have no confidence in those dudes, man. I don't give a fuck what magic words you speak. I think these are the most evil niggas on the planet, and I don't think there are magic words that exist. It ain't just you. I couldn't say nothing in their ear. I don't believe you could either.
What if God brought you to them?
Then I do whatever the fuck he said, but I don't think that's the case with you.
Why?
Because you haven't said so. And if you do, I'm going to fucking call you a megalomaniac.
Well, I know how it sounds, but I can explain these conclusions.
And when say the words out loud, make my night.
When I get to Washington, D.C., I can clearly and confidently state God has brought me there.
My ass. Has he done it now? Has he sent you right now?
God is love. Love is bringing me to Washington, D.C.
All right. You're not going to say it. You ain't crazy, motherfucker. I was talking about, because you said, what if God told me to do a thing? If you told me it was for loving woo-woo shit.
I said, what if God brought you to that opportunity?
Well, I'd have to know
what for us to know that, right? If you believe in God, then you know that he did. And if you don't believe in God, then it doesn't matter, right? It's just all in your perception, how you choose to see it.
What we believe doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Unless it's wrong.
What? Explain it to me. Help me. This is great.
You're up.
We live in this realm, this paradox of life, not life. It is not real.
Let me talk to Rocco.
Yeah, I like it, Jack. I see.
Undocumented criminality. I left a comment on one of your videos. Shoot me an email. My email is on the About tab of the channel. Okay, that's all.
Yeah. Sweet. See?
What?
You got a talent, man.
Hey, Jack.
No, your mind. You're paying attention to a lot of different aspects. I'm paying attention to you, and you're paying attention to a lot of things.